Okay, so it's Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. as I record this, and it's been hitting the rounds on social media and various news outlets, and also Triple H has announced through his Twitter account that Bray Wyatt has passed away at the age of 36. Now, the first part of this video will just be me reacting to this news. This honestly, truly, I mean, obviously, this is horrible, but this is horrible for so many different people on so many different levels. It's horrible for Bray's family because they lost a loved one, and also the people he was friends with, Alexa Bliss, Eric Rowan, all the people that were like family to him in the wrestling business. They lost a colleague and a friend, and it's horrible for the fans like me who was a fan of Bray, because not only did we lose one of our favorite wrestlers, but we're never going to see any of his personalities and any of his gimmicks that we loved ever again. The Fiend, Uncle Howdy, so on and so forth. So many great characters. I don't know if Bray's death is related to his wrestling career. I know there were reports of him having some sort of issue with his organs. I don't know if this was brought on by him wrestling or not. Either way, it is completely tragic. But if it is wrestling related, I mean, obviously, this is another example of why we need to take the mental and physical health of wrestlers very, very seriously. If this is somehow related to his in-ring schedule or in-ring work rate, then I hope this, at the very least, serves as a wake-up call to those powers that be that, like, hey, we need to start taking this more seriously and looking after our talent, especially someone like Bray, who has a history of being troubled and also really struggled with the death of his best friend Brody Lee in recent years. Yeah, so overall, truly am really just shocked and really saddened by this news as a fan, and I, wish the best for the family, the Rotunda family, and also anyone who has ever worked with Bray, like Alexa, Eric, so on and so forth. Now the second part of this video may seem a bit awkward being side by side with this first part of the video, because the second part of the video I actually recorded this morning, and the topic of the video is how I thought Bray should actually dethrone Roman Reigns to win the undisputed Universal title. My plan this morning, I recorded the audio this morning, and as soon as I got off work, I was going to make it into a video and upload it. And then, of course, during my shift today, I saw that, Bray had passed away. So if you listen to the second part of the video and it feels disjointed as because I'm referring to Bray in the present tense, then just know it's because I recorded it before I had discovered that he had passed. And another thing I just want to mention, this is really important, there may be some things I say in the second part of the video that may come off as an insult to Bray, and I just want to make it clear that they are not. They are an insult more so to WWE's creative and how they booked Bray with his characters and during his time in WWE. So I am in no way, shape, or form taking a shot at Bray or belittling his work. It is a shot at the WWE creative that managed him throughout his career. I should really say mismanaged him throughout his career. So just wanted to be clear on that. Anyway, here's the second part of the video of me making my case of why Bray should have defeated Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Here it is. Okay, so I wanted to make this video last week, but at the time I wasn't sure how much of a shelf life it was going to have. But since the return of Jey Uso doesn't seem to be coming anytime soon, I think making a video like this is pretty safe. So at SummerSlam, there was a lot of people that thought the Bloodline storyline was going to conclude with Jey Uso dethroning Roman, becoming the tribal chief, and effectively ending the storyline itself. Obviously, however, that did not happen. And on top of that, the following episode of SmackDown, Jey Uso left WWE. I use the term left loosely. But anyway, since Jey Uso did not dethrone Roman at SummerSlam, and since him dethroning Roman is kind of up in the air, it's a possibility, but it's not likely going to happen, at least not anytime soon. So the question is, for me, if it's not going to be Jey Uso, then who would be the next best candidate to dethrone Roman and end the Bloodline storyline? Well, if you go back to the night Roman won the Universal title at WWE Payback 2020, it was a triple threat match between him, Braun Strowman, and The Fiend Bray Wyatt. And at the time, The Fiend Bray Wyatt was the champion, and he also never really got a chance to be in an angle with Roman to regain the title. Now, I know you know that I know where you think I'm going with this. But before I say what I want to say, I just want to say a couple more things. So number one, I actually disagree with WWE's decision to not put over Jey Uso at SummerSlam. He should have went over Roman, should have won the titles, should have became the tribal chief, because that would have been the perfect ending to the story. But they didn't do that. Number two, on paper, I don't think Bray is the one that should be the one to dethrone Roman because, number one, he's unreliable, and number two, he's just not that caliber of a star that should be the one to dethrone such a megastar like Roman Reigns. But if you go back to the start of this story with the Bloodline, like the very start of this story, it all starts with The Fiend and Roman Reigns. So, if they're not going to pull the trigger on Jey, which would be the best option, then they might as well just, pull the trigger on somebody else who was there at the very beginning, which is The Fiend. And, there are better candidates than Bray, like, I don't know, The Rock, Gunther, so on and so forth, but for someone who wasn't there at the beginning of the story to be the one to take down Roman just kind of seems anticlimactic in a way. The only person that I feel would be appropriate to take down Roman that wasn't there from the very beginning would be Seth Rollins. It's just because of the history they have together. In fact, about a year ago, Planet Productions even laid out a storyline where Seth Rollins would take the title from Roman. Obviously, that's not going to happen since Seth has the world title now, but ultimately my hope is that once they're done with the whole Jey Uso leaving angle, he comes back and wins the title. But like I said, with that being up in the air, the second best option for me would be The Fiend. So, yeah.